Hey, good morning, guys. Let's jump in with AMZY and Amazon. As I mentioned, I'm kind of having fun with this one. It's relatively easy. They certainly put on some trades today, so let me share that with you guys. So here are the Amazon trades. So they bought, these are additional contracts. So they bought calls, 395. They had a little bit of buy-in, 75,000 shares. So they used some of that money to put 395 contracts. They added it to their 200 synthetic. So now that they're down, and I'll show that in a minute what the price did today on both AMZ and Amazon, but needless to say, it was down some. So they're in a mode where they're underneath the $200 strike price, and they're at 187.93. So that gives them the ability to buy the call cheaper and sell the put higher. So that gives them income. And then they like to match the synthetic with a sell short, and they had been on the 200s and 197.5s. So they went out a week, right in the middle of the week here on Wednesday of the 17th, and they went out to 26, and they sold the 195 because they're now down at 187. So having said that, they closed, right? This matching three up here, put on a synthetic, sell a naked call for same quantity. Uh, then they closed out their 200 and their 197 for, they had sold them for good money. So they closed them out at 8 cents and 14 cents. And then they put on new, same quantities, right? 42.45 and 42.90 out to 726, and they used 195s and 197. So just down a little bit based on them being down. Now, I'm showing earnings on 725. Okay. So let's see if that happens. So that puts them in the realm of earnings. And let's see if that's enough. So let's go over and look at the math here. It actually gave them some good cash flow. So again, we come down and we put 717. They went down from 2152 to 2101, and they went down from 193.02 to 187.93. And since I have all these trades to put in, I have to replicate the date here. So here's the 395 that matches the synthetic. They got $1.57 on those, and the strike price was 195. And skipping to the last entry, they did 42.90 and got $1.44 when they did this one. Same 95, 195 strike price. So together, those two contracts got them about 680,000 when you add those two. The other 197.5, a little bit higher, a little further out of the money, so they're going to get less income, right? 98 cents on 4,245. So all of this little million two, a million eight, a million nine, um, is new income, and the synthetic produced some income. So not bad all in all. So let's go take a look at the synthetic in addition. So that's my 200. So here's that one, right? They put the 395 on, so they were able to buy the calls for 178 and sell the puts because they're underneath this by $13. So they're able to get more for the put, and these are out at 816. Okay. So whoops, this one's not updated. I think 2022, I'll get that updated. No, needs one more. There we go. So now it's updated. And then let's look on our weekly. So that got us 698,000 that we added to our kitty, right? Still a liability at a 200 out there, but we have till 816. Um, so let's look at our weeklies. So now adding these together. I just added that to make this number bigger, and I do not know why it's not staying. This number is 4685. I swear I updated that. Okay. So they're only 1%. Whoops. This number has to be updated. Okay. So they're almost 4% and 5%. But remember, they've got 7 trading days. They've got today, Thursday, Friday, and then the 5 days. So again, earnings could send it up. Maybe they don't think earnings are going to be enough to send it up that much. And again, it's very near. I love these, right? Where is it relative to its all-time high? Well, or I should say 52-week high, but I'd be willing to bet it's also an all-time high. So it's been as high as 201.2 in the last 52 weeks and has been as low as 118. So it's clearly in the upper range. Look at AMZY. That's a fairly tight range, 18 to 24. And this now is 20, this is 2101. And then I didn't do anything with implied volatility. Normally these stay in a pretty tight range. It had moved up recently because the AMZY moved up. And you see it right here, 22 to 49, right? This thing doesn't do the 70s, 80s, and 90s. So we're pretty lucky we're able to get the yield out of it that it's paying. Long as it doesn't have, real severe sell-offs and go down, down, down. But I think Amazon's kind of doing the opposite of that. It's a pretty steady creature with all of the different elements. So let's take a look at holdings and go over that. So here's the 75,000 shares. It was 7725 before, which is less than 1%. We don't care too much about the distribution of the money, to be honest. So our synthetic, though, and our new weekly calls. So we're a little behind. We spent 11, or we collected about 1.1 million, and right now with 7 days is no big deal. It's 1.3. So they're a little behind the 148 and the 98 cents, right, that we collected. So I made sure to put my chart in here that I like to do. There's a few that I'm not charting, but I really need to do this because visuals allow things to pop and they allow you to see it. I can tell you all day, at least for me, remember, we're all different kinds of learners. I'm very much a numbers guy, but I'm very visual in seeing things. So hopefully that helps you. 2101 is where we closed, and 2098 is fair value. So let's go look at payouts. That's all that's left. So again, we have a new share count, but these were 20s before. These are like 26 and 27. So we've now got 48 cents worth of total income, right? 3 million is coming out of those short calls. So we want to win those next week. I mean, that could drag us back down if we don't win those. But the synthetic is contributing. We'll continue to. So if you guys are buying in, the synthetic will get written. Yeah, it's a liability out at 816. But overall, this fund is doing pretty well. Remember, we paid 76.5, right? So we really have 2 more weeks to write monies, right? We have the end of next week, 726, and then whatever that Friday, 8/3, somewhere like that on the calendar. It is 8/2. So we'll have another chance to August 2nd to collect. And remember, when you write it, you've collected it. So the fund managers are going to take that when they go out and do the declaration on 8/6 for next month. So I'd say overall, Amazon's doing well and AMZY are doing well. So that's what I got for you, folks. Hopefully that explains it again. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice for fun and entertainment. Hope you were entertained. Okay, bye, peoples.